What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike.
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's how I do this song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all of this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zap's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see Cassie. Hit me up in my DMs, and I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Well, hello. How the hell are you? We are back. We are here for our exclusive interview, another interview with a cast member from the real life reality franchise, their new show. Well, not new show, it's in its second season, Real Life and Music. And today we have our exclusive interview with one of the new cast members. His name is the Black Boi George. He goes by J Dot. Maybe we'll ask him why he go by J Dot and what's the difference between Black Boi George, J Dot. And we'll ask him some other interesting questions and see what we can find out, like only we can. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender-conforming members of our audience, I bring to you Mr. J Dot. How are you, sir? I mean, Mr. Black Boi George. How are you, sir?
How you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? A man of many hats, you know what I'm saying? Many names, I'm doing well today. How you doing today?
I am well. I'm glad that you getting your steps in today. You getting your steps in. Trying to stay slim and trim for the people.
You know what I'm saying? When to go pick up the nephew from YMCA. I dropped him off to his mom's house. So, it's not far walk back to the house. So just decided to walk it. It's not too far. It feel good outside here in Savannah.
Oh, you don't live in Atlanta?
So I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia. and I'm down here with my fam. I came down here for the summer to spend time with them. Of course, I still go back and forth to Atlanta. I was just there 2 days ago. But down here with the fam. Just healing all the way. What I'm saying, before I go on the next journey. So I feel
What are
like it's
you
a pit
healing
stop
from?
before.
What are you healing
Huh?
from? What are you healing from?
From everything, like a lot of the stuff that we talk about on the show, you know, um, I wanted to talk about certain things like, molestation, child abuse, mental health awareness, and LGBT topics, my life growing up as a kid. That's where the Black Boy George comes into play. I'm J. Dot Brown. We're in the era of the Black Boy George, so it's the name of a project which is called sincerely the Black Boy George. And it's about healing. It's about breaking generational curses and creating generational wealth and healing the young Gerard, the young Gerard that went through a lot of the trauma and effects that when he was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know the original Boy George? Are you familiar with his story?
Of course. I actually I learned about him while I was in prison. A guy, said, what are you, like a rapping Boy George? And I thought he was trying to call me a faggot. So, I never heard of Boy George
Oh
before, but it
wow.
sounded like
Just came
a
right
cool
out
word.
and said the F word, huh? Come right out, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, in prison, you got to deal with it just straight up. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna treat you how they're gonna treat you, and you have to live in there. So it's no beating around the bush. When people call you things, they're gonna call you, and you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear you a punk. You're gonna experience people not want you to sit at their tables. You know what I'm saying? Despite just because you're honest, because back in there, they can't go anywhere. They have time, so they can figure out anything. And no matter how masculine you come off, they gonna see what's going on. You gotta live in there. I had to live in there.
Were
so,
you
but
in jail or were you in prison?
I've done both. I've done both.
Okay. Are you a
So
convicted felon?
yeah, you got to be a felon to go to prison.
Not necessarily. Not if you don't do more than a year.
Well, no, to go into the prison system, what I'm saying, you actually have to do more than a year, and you have to be a convicted felon to go into the prison
Not
system.
necessarily.
Well,
Not
well, I
necessarily.
don't know the optics of that. I just knew that I was a felon, and they sent my ass up the road.
What did you do?
Honestly, I caught a shoplifting charge. You know what I'm saying? So I used to be
Did you? How much
I
did you steal?
well, ooh,
Were you
that kind of
stunting?
built.
Were you boosting?
Yeah, they were building the case. You know what I'm saying? I had been doing it for a while. And that last day, that in particular day that sent me to prison, was just down on the luck. Me and my dude was at our ends with,
Oh, so you and your boyfriend was over there
nah,
shoplifting. What were y'all shoplifting from?
nah. So it wasn't. He wasn't with me. I just said we were at our ends with. So
Oh,
I was, the relationship was over, and that in particular day, I just needed to make some extra money just so if I could be able to leave. He kept crying and stuff like that, and I kind of his last cry was like a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was like I don't want to keep dragging this dude. But you know, it was what
so
it
you
was.
left your boyfriend because he was crying?
I left him because of the fact that the relationship had already been to an end. He had kind of like drugged me in the first half of the year relationship. So when it came back
What do
around
you
when he
mean when
wanted,
you say he drug you?
he drugged me. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was a good dude in certain
Like
aspects.
he beat you up, drug you?
Emotionally, like emotionally, just drained. You know what I'm saying? Like had me crying and stuff all the time. I was like a bitch. You know, I had loved the fuck out of him.
What was it about him that made you cry?
He
What
was
did you do
always
that
fucking,
made you
he was
cry?
always cheating and lying.
Oh, so he cheated on you.
Yes, he was always cheating and lying. He would never ever own up to it. And I'd be reading his messages from his phone. And
Let me ask you this.
yeah.
Let me ask you this. Um, what did how did that make you feel when he cheated on you? What about it made you cry?
Because because he was always there for me. It was like around the time I first moved to Atlanta. We were staying out in McDonough. I was living in Lovejoy. He was in McDonough. So that's like just 20 minutes away from each other. You know, and it just made me I felt like first off, in the beginning, it was like a fairy tale. I didn't know that he was cheating. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that everything was all good, for like the first 2.5 months. And then I remember one day him dropping me off to Savannah, Georgia, and when I came back to Atlanta after that weekend, I was, somebody hit me up. Somebody hit me up on, I was on Adam. Somebody hit me up on Adam, and they were like, somebody want to do a threesome with you, this guy that he met. And I was like, who? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't really know anybody. So he was like, he told me the guy, and he sent the picture of the guy. And when he sent the picture of the guy, I'm like, hold up, that's my fucking dude. So he was like, my dude had just fucked him that previous Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like after he dropped me off or whatever. So I was like, what? So so yeah, so it was
Let,
crazy.
let
He
me
just lied
ask you
about it
this.
over there.
So your boyfriend was cheating on you left, right, and sideways, and had you crying and boohoo crying and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this. You come off as someone who is very uh 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 headstrong. That's what the old people would call it. And somebody
Hmm.
who tries to come off as hard. You yourself even say that you are masculine and a man's man. And so what about him cheating? What was it about him that made you cry? Because a lot of people for what it's worth would maybe not cry, but maybe either return the favor or would just leave and say, I'm not gonna let you get me to that point. Why would you what made you cry?
Because I really loved him, and I mean it just hurt it. I mean I'm not. It hurt. It hurt because sometimes I would feel as if I wasn't enough. So
Let's stop right there. You said you weren't enough. That's what I wanted to get to. So he made you question your self worth. And for somebody to make you question your self worth and that get you to the point of tears, that means that that has to be a soft spot, something that is sensitive.
yeah.
And what about your self worth? Do you have a history of that? Maybe growing up or as a child that where you might have felt that your self-worth wasn't you didn't have a good self-worth, maybe people picked on you or maybe there was some trauma that made you question your own self-worth. Is that something that you may be dealing with?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I
Interesting.
went
And
through all of that as a kid growing up. I mean, I did. I went through all of that. Just living in the household that I was growing up in. It was very abusive and stuff like that. So I mean, I was just sometimes you don't even know that you have worth. Because we don't really think about those words and people don't utilize them sometimes to build people up like that. So sometimes you don't even know that you have worth. So you know, you don't always give yourself your best or know how
okay.
to expect or get the best or receive the best.
Is that could that be because I noticed that when you are when you get to the point of anger, because usually after people cry, watch out for these cars because I don't need no accidents on in the middle of my channel. They get real close. I'm just saying. But
Oh no, no, we good.
I noticed some people after they get done crying, they go into this anger or this rage. And I notice that when you get angry, you go quickly from just being angry to having this rage where you really kind of lash out, not necessarily physically, but certainly verbally, where
Hmm.
there is this attempt to, hey, you bothered me. And so you might have slapped my wrist, but I got a 2x4 and I'm gonna, knock your whole head off. And is that does where does that stem from? Does that stem from that same place?
Yeah, most definitely, it does. It does. Just growing up with it, I mean, I know myself. I know the things I've been through. So, I know a lot of my triggers. I know a lot of, where a lot of my lashing out may come from, where I may not feel, where I may have, get the verbiage to disrespect the person like karma. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, it's something that was just a part of life. You know, and growing up as a kid, not wanting to go home from school, or get off the school bus. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But and I say this to a lot of people. I watched the episode. I think that was episode 3, where they had the um,
yeah.
mystery music night and whatnot. And I heard your song and things like that. And I often tell people that when going through child trauma, and you go through different things as a child, and I've told this to some of my friends. One of two things, well, not those, not only two things, but a couple things have to happen. the best thing you want to do is move on, maybe get some help, maybe sit down on someone's couch and get some help to talk through it,
Hmm.
or find a way to. Some people, ironically, have the ability to get through it and get past it on their own. But I
Hmm.
tell them, I said, you can't let the traumas of your childhood imprison you or
Yes.
keep you locked up in your own mind. Why? Because you only spend a finite amount of time as a child. Most people, they spend the least amount of their life as a child and the most amount of their life as an adult. And it'd be a shame if you let just that finite period of time dictate the entirety of your adult life. That's not fair to you, and that's not fair to the other people who you may affect, because you're still holding on to something that may have happened so long ago and was such a small part of your life, but it permeates and, is extending through your whole life. So, what do you think about that? Do you think that things that you may have gone through as a child may still be affecting you as an adult where you don't want to let it go?
Oh no, I most definitely want to let it go. Like that's why I'm in the era, and that's why I've written the music, and that's why I'm out here performing the songs that I perform. A lot of people like on the show wanted me to say I should have. That wasn't the first song that you performed, but they didn't understand the healing about it. It wasn't about trying to fit in or be a. I got plenty dope ass songs where I could be cool and talk, other stuff. But I specifically wanted to talk about those things, because you create bonds with people. Like I had people from after the show that come up and say, "Hey, yo, that was my story." I've never heard a person be so brave and talk about that. You know what I'm saying? It might catch you off guard, but it is made to just hit you directly, and make you understand my story, because those words were so real, and I needed that song as I was healing. I went back to the house that I was raised in, to get the inspiration for that song. I went back into the house that day, came down to Savannah. Just so happened nobody was living in the house. The door was open. I walked in the door. It was dark, and I just started speaking to the house, and I started letting it know that I'm moving on. I'm letting you go. You can't hold
Have
me
you moved
anymore.
on?
Yeah, I most definitely moved on. I made peace with my father. I've apologized. I want to talk to people. I've allowed people to, give their forgiveness, so therefore they can receive their blessings. And, it's still a process. But I feel like being here in Savannah right now, which wasn't a part of, I didn't plan this part. I just planned to leave Atlanta and go where I wanted to go next. I didn't know that God was going to bring me here to Savannah, and spend a good amount of time, and it be needed time, because I could see that even though I didn't get to, like, maybe my moms didn't get to heal together, you know what I'm saying, throughout the years. But what I do recognize is that she's had experiences within life where she's healed by probably having conversations and things like that with other people that has made her elevate. So where now I'm home, she says things like, "Baby, you gay, and there's nothing you care about. That's your life. You're still good." And not her not even know that she's never said that before, that comfortably, and just said that, just as with no second thought before. Like she don't even know, So it's like, damn.
Let
Damn,
me
you didn't
give
get the
you a
growth with me. You experienced it. You grew.
let me give you an analogy. Give you an analogy. Hopefully you'll get it. You got
Hmm.
two young men, two little boys. Let's say they're 7-year-old little boys.
Hmm.
Brothers grow up in the same house. One brother, they both have a bike. One brother goes, rides the bike, rides down one street. He falls, breaks his leg. And the parents at that time, they don't necessarily have the money to take him to the hospital to get it, fixed the right way or get a cast. So the dad, he does the best he can, puts it in place, has his own makeshift thing, puts it on. The boy's leg heals, right? But he
Hmm.
walked with a limp for the rest of his life. The little brother comes, same thing. Get the bike, ride down the block, falls, breaks his legs, breaks the same leg. This time the parents done got a little money. The parents take him to the hospital. A doctor does what they do because the doctor is certified, trained, licensed to heal that leg. Get the cast, brother, same injury, same leg. Doctor says, "Wow, your older brother had the exact same. Looks like he may have had the exact same injury." That's what the dad says, and younger brother walks perfect for the rest of his life. Now, I told you that to say this. A lot of times people go through trauma and injuries and think um that it's only about healing, but there's a process to healing. Both of them got healed. The older brother healed, but guess what? Because he didn't go through the proper healing, he didn't get the right, medicine and things to heal him. Guess what he was left with? A limp for the rest of his life that affected how he walked permanently until he died. Whereas the younger brother, same injury, but went and got the right type of healing
Hmm.
and never had to deal with the problem again. Both of them got healed, but one was left with irreparable damage because they didn't get the best healing. He didn't
Hmm.
die, but he didn't get the best healing. The other person,
Living with the trauma.
but he dealt with the trauma. The healing happened, but there was lingering effects because it wasn't the right kind of healing that he needed for
Hmm.
that injury. The dad tried to self heal at home remedies instead of going to the professionals. And so I'll say that to you that sometimes we so often try to do home remedies to heal ourselves. A mental trauma is just as affects your life just as much and sometimes even more than physical trauma does, and it leaves you just as crippled with mental and emotional trauma. So I'll leave you with that on that part because sometimes you won't even realize that it's affecting everything. And you say, "Hey, I healed from that." Yes, but did it have lingering effects? Because the healing process may not have been the best process for that.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I relate to that.
Um, I'm sorry.
No, I relate to that 100%. I put into action on certain, where I'm still addressing issues with certain people, but you know, because I mean, you understand about yourself and growing. I'm able to look at my own self, see a lot of the damaged and broken areas, So as you're wanting to heal, and on a journey to, you just you want to be better than them. Being here in Savannah, I'm able to face a lot of things.
Oh wow, hopefully we can get him back. Not sure what happened there. It sounded like he was having some internet issues. Maybe he can go out and come back in. I'm not sure. Interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I was just about to get into the good stuff. Hopefully we get him to come back in. Hey, everybody in the chat. I know I didn't say hello to everybody in the chat, but let me say hey to y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Everybody, Von Dahl, Jamarco, Production, Sublime Shia, um, uh, Jay Parrish, Lovely 31 Blueprint, Spicy Original. Thank y'all. I'm not sure. I can't really see him. I see he's backstage, but I don't know if his he may still be having internet issues because it's all white. Let me see something. Yeah, he's still trying to make it. And see if we can't wait for him. He over there in Savannah, I don't know how well the internet work over there. He said you love how calm I am. Right. Sometimes you just gotta be calm. You gotta be real calm. People like to get real animated. and in that attempt to get real animated, it a lot of times is them trying to distract you from getting down to the real issue. So they get real loud and real animated, and all of the time they're just trying to mask and stuff like that. Not Boost Mobile. Not that you said that young man have Boost Mobile. For those of you all in here, I invite you to come back. We have our Democratic National Convention watch party that will start at 8:45. It's supposed to start at 8:45. If I can, I'm gonna start it earlier. If I can, I'm gonna try to start it earlier, but it's definitely supposed to start at 8:45. Matter of fact, let me get that set up over here on the big monitor over here. Let's see here. But I hope y'all are enjoying the interview. I saw y'all were putting questions in the chat. And I hope they got Al Sharpton up there. Lord. They got Al Sharpton up there. Shout out to Al. Reverend Al. See who I missed. I don't know who this lady is. I'm just rewinding it to see who we missed while we wait for him. He looked like he's still maybe having some issues with the internet. I don't know what's going on. They have Marcia Fudge up there. I love me some Marcia Fudge. Yeah, he's still having issues. Maybe we may have to do a production. Production, can you come up? I sent you the link. Can you come up for a second, production? You have the link if you still in the building. Hey L Love. Come on, Reverend Al. I don't know what's going on. Um Production. Where's production? Let me call him. Lord. See this, mm, mm, mm. Where you at? I keep calling you in the chat and telling you to come up because I think he having internet issues. Can you hit the stream yard, please? It's in your IG, ain't it? Oh dear God. Oh Lord. Jesus. Oh God. He did have a better connection walking through the block than he did at home. That's not normal. Most of us people, we are better at home because we got good, high quality, high speed internet, Wi-Fi in the house, and you know, um, production, sir, production.
What's going on here, Teddy?
I don't know what's going on. We may have to reschedule. He looked like he having internet issues.
Child. I don't know why.
Oh, there he go. He look like he on the flow. He done cut into his time.
My apologies. My apologies. My phone ended up dropping it. It said that StreamYard was having issues on my end.
That wasn't stream, y'all. That was you.
Well, I can only go with the message that it sent me.
Who was that? I'm sorry. I'm looking at this That's the Central Park Five. That's powerful. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be focused here. Um, that's the Central Park Five. They got up there on the DNC. Anyway, so we were about to pivot and transition and talk about the show. Thank you for coming up here, production. You can get out now. Goodbye.
All right.
So yeah, you don't cut into your time. So let me ask you a question, sir.
Mhm.
And don't come up here yelling and all of that, screaming and stuff up. What were the parameters around the Jai guy staying with you? How did you meet him, and how did he come to staying with you?
He actually, I met him at the mystery showcase, and then from there he ended up hitting me up off of Instagram. And I mean, of course, I knew him from that he's gonna be recording together. So we ended up exchanging numbers and ended up just talking. You know, and he was cool people. He seemed cool. I mean, we're artists. We talked about doing songs and music and stuff, and then when it got time for him to come to Atlanta. um
Where was he living?
I think he's in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Some very small town somewhere. So I knew when I spoke with him as he was on his way up here, up to Atlanta that night, that he was looking for a hotel. You know what I'm saying? And he only had X amount of dollars and stuff like that. He was trying to stretch it. So inside of my head, without telling him, I had already said, that I was going to allow him to come over and stay. You know what I'm saying? Just to get on his feet. You know what I'm saying?
So
Because
if I ain't had nowhere to stay, would you come let me stay with you?
it depends on the circumstances. I felt like he was a person who had a dream and wanted to
But you
go
just
after
met
it.
him.
That didn't mean anything. I've met people. People have met me and let me stay in their house, and I didn't even know them from a can of paint.
Oh
You know,
wow.
so yeah. So I expressed that there. Like it was plenty of people who showed me love. When I moved up to Atlanta, that I did not know from a can of paint. Never tried to sleep with me. Nothing. Would let me sleep in their bed. Make sure I got to work the next day. Shit like that. You can only value. So when he came up
It
to
might have been playing the long game. Some people play the long game. They
nah,
might
some
come
people
out
do play,
at the
wanting to
beginning
like.
and say, "No, we're not gonna do that." And after a while, people get hot and bothered.
Oh, no,
So
no, I've remained friends with a lot of good people, because that's value, So I had the same plans for him, what I'm saying, just wanting that type of friendship. He was on the show, I felt like he was cool, we're both attractive, so I don't necessarily have to sleep with you. We can go out. I mean, I got plenty of hoes,
you
I'm
stay
pretty
by
sure we have.
yourself.
No, I had a brother. I was staying with a brother. We shared a house together.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You got somebody that you staying in the house with. And did you tell the person you were staying in the house with that this person was gonna be staying with you, with y'all?
No, no, we didn't have to address stuff like that. They bring the girls over all the time. Like we
Okay,
grown
but
men.
the
We talk
girls
about stuff
come
like
in
that.
and go out. But you talk about somebody living with y'all.
Yeah, like we didn't discuss. You didn't have to discuss stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? No,
That's
no.
not now. Wait a minute. Back up. If it's one thing for you to let your bust down come over, you bust it down. You might even let your bust down come over, and they might stay a day or two. You know what I'm saying? A couple of days, and then they go home. Maybe y'all on the gas station pills, and y'all busting each other down 4 5 times a day for the next 4 days, and then they going on home. But you talking about somebody who you recently just met, and you want to live in the house with you, somebody behind you walking back and forth. I don't know if you want them on. I'm only saying that because I don't know if they may not be want to be on camera, so I always make sure I make that announcement. But um, I don't know that how is that fair to your roommate that somebody that you don't intimately know like that, you just met them, and you letting them come in and stay in the house that and they stay with and you stay with somebody. I'll be mad. You couldn't be my roommate. I'll be there cuss you out and try to get you kicked out.
Nah, nah. We ain't had those type of things. I mean, him and my roommate never even met. Like our house was big. We had like two
You was
totally different.
sneaking them in the house.
I didn't have to sneak him in the house. He walked right in the door. Like we did, but we didn't. Me and my bro, we didn't have to like report to each other about all of our moves. I done had people come to the house and move in. You know what I'm saying? Like I moved somebody else in, but like that ended up becoming cool with my brother. We all did music. I already knew the guy. Him I did actually know, but he had just came home from jail. You know what I'm saying? And I knew to just look out for him because he was my people. And I mean, people have done the same thing for me. When you walking by faith, you don't care about the extra necessaries. You can't hurt me. God is not going to allow you to hurt me or harm me or to like take a, like it's nothing that
You
I'm going to
can't
be able to
say
go
you
through that
say
I can't
God
bear.
is not gonna let you. God ain't got nothing to do
God,
with
I
that.
also only
God
speak
ain't
about
tell
what
you to
God had did with
you let
me.
them in your
And
house.
yeah, yeah, I can only tell you about what God had done with me, and it worked. It did. I didn't have a problem.
But here's
So
the
I can speak
deal.
about other
Here's the
people that
deal. Everybody's
I
not
didn't.
you though. And sometimes you may have good intentions and you may be honestly looking to help that person and that person could come and rob you blind.
No, I don't look at things like that to happen because God has showed me I'm too blessed. You know what I'm saying? I walk a certain type of walk. So he walks in me and carry me a certain way. He know that I have a heart and a spirit about myself that cares for people genuinely. So I've never had that happen. I've had people come and stay in my house. I didn't know from a can of paint that I only met in that moment. And they never even spoke to their mother. Like I have things that's bigger than me. Because sometimes it's about wanting to. I mean, I don't. It's not wrong to like to be a person that heal
Right.
when you
No,
know
no,
your
no.
gift, the things that you
Hey,
have.
hey, hey,
I've
hey.
had
I'm
people
not
stay in my
saying
bed
that
that
it's
they
wrong.
come and stay, and I prayed over them while they were sleeping in the bed. They didn't never speak to their mama in 7 years. After them finished dealing with me for 3 days, you know what I'm saying? I made it to where they got in contact with their mother. Their mother didn't even understand how that had happened. So sometimes things are bigger than you. You just have to be that seed that's willing to be used to plant another seed for somebody else.
But even though you might be looking to be that seed to plant into them, that doesn't negate the fact that things bad can happen. God has not promised you, hey, what how the song says, God has not promised you sunshine. That is not the way it's going to be. Even though you may have good intentions and even though
God
you
has a
may be
day for
doing
your
all of the
calling, and
right
then when it's time
things,
for you to leave the sunshine.
sometimes there are going to be bad things that happen to
God has his
everyone.
day for, God has his day already planned when he's going to call you home. That's not for me to worry
I'm not
about.
saying you're going to
So
die, but there could be things that happen.
I'm not worried about those type of things.
So, you got to have some I think sometimes you got to be have some discernment and also
True,
um
true.
and also even just protect your own space
Of
and
course.
certainly and on top of that I think that it to me just from the outside looking in and I have to preface by that I would I always if I've always had a roommate I've always said let me always consider how this will affect my roommate or the household and not just lean on what I feel or how I feel because that person deserves to know. For example, if that young man had started getting mail at your house, you couldn't even kick him out. You would have to get a whole eviction.
Yeah, but see, we're talking about what people I notice they like to focus on so much of the negatives and the what ifs. But I actually just walk through it, and most time, if you just walk through it, and nothing happens, but you'll be left not doing things because you'll be stuck on what if this would have happened, but ain't nothing
I'm
happened. The
glad you
situation's
mentioned
over.
that. You,
So the
that was a great
situation,
segue. You try to make it like this was all nice bed of roses, but we just saw you on the episode getting animated, yelling and screaming and getting all of that. So even though in your mind you thought, oh, this was gonna be good, I did all of the right things. At some point, there was some break in this whatever
I
this
mean, certain
was,
things,
and you
certain things they
kicked him
happened that was
out,
unfortunate.
and now he's allegedly lying on you, or you lying on him, and y'all yelling at each other. I don't know what was the parameters. How did he stop staying with you? What happened that made you say you can made you tell him he can't stay there anymore?
I never really had just came out and said that he could never stay there. What happened is that upon a certain night of him being there, I left him in the bed, to be able to keep it for himself. And I sent him. I don't think he felt. I guess he didn't feel comfortable. I guess he tried to explain on the thing or whatever. I think it was more of him just being mad about me just not wanting to do certain things. Or allow
I was
certain things
sleeping
to
in the bed
happen.
together.
Mhm.
What was
You
what
know.
was what was he mad that you weren't doing anymore? Were y'all spooning? Were y'all touching each other? Were
No,
y'all
it's just that I had somebody with me. I like kind of like really like that person, and I didn't want to partake in like. I already set the parameters that I didn't want to have sex with him. So now I'm setting the parameters that this is we're not about to have a threesome or anything either. And maybe he had gotten the wrong idea just because we're sitting up, we're talking, we're in deep conversation, we're rapping to each other. He's listening to my music. I'm kind of telling him my story. All both of them. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all three of us are there, and
how
it was like
often
a
were
really
you
dope moment
at
for me,
how
to be honest.
often were all three of you all at the house?
This was like our first time. Like, yeah.
Okay, so my question is because to me it sounds like you're saying that he got jealous about the other person, or he got jealous because you left him in the bed with just him and he wanted it to be y'all. But in my brain, I'm thinking to myself, well, if y'all never did anything, or if there was never any inclination of anything, going on like that between y'all, why would he be upset that you got you somebody? Did you tell him ahead of time that you was gonna talk to somebody? Have y'all
You know,
ever
all that
touched
day.
each other?
We went and did film. We went and did recording. My homeboy cut his hair. He cut my hair.
No, no, no. I'm talking about when you got when the dude that you was talking with came.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All three of us together. I remember telling the dude, I was with the dude first. So Ja was leaving, I think, Vaughn House. He was at Vaughn House for a few days. So he hit me up telling me that he needed to come over and stay for a few days as he went to work. So I told him it was, fine, because I told him if he ever needed to, he ever needed to come over, it was fine. So, I told my dude that I'm kicking it with, let him know that I have a bro coming over and he's gonna kick it with me for the night. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy was cool. We knew I had film later on, so we just decided that we'd hang out, so he came over. He was cool. My
How long
homeboy is
had Ja been staying with you at that point?
it had only been like maybe like a week, or maybe this was going into the second week. But he had only come over like he'd be at Barn House majority of the time, or he'd be somewhere else. Because that was my thing. I told him I said, make you some make you some friends while you're up here. Like just because you're at my house don't mean you're gonna be here every night. So you're a nice looking guy. Make it work for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go out here and do your thing. He went out and
You
got
were
him a
telling
job.
him to go whore himself, go sell his body or something?
He had to go sell his body. He better go goddamn. He better go do what he need to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you
Is
gotta.
that how
I
you
mean,
got
you're
in your
grown,
house?
huh? No, that's not how I got in my house. But at the end
Whoa,
of the day,
wait,
I'm
wait, wait,
grown.
wait, wait, wait,
It's not,
wait, 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 wait. If he didn't have to sell his body or go make it happen to get into your house, why would
you're
you tell him he
grown.
had to
You're a
do that
nice
to go
looking
get into
person.
somebody
We're in Atlanta,
else's house?
Georgia. You're going to be online and going to be talking to people. You don't have to feel confined to me. I'm a homeboy, so you don't have to teeter around me. You don't have to tiptoe. Go out, go do your thing. I don't give a fuck. You know what
But
I'm
he
saying?
don't have
Like,
nowhere to stay.
it's not about him having a place to stay. If you go out and you go find some cool people, it's Atlanta. Plenty of people will goddamn take you in the if they think you cool enough. You know what I'm saying? And they want to fuck with you. You might find somebody that he like fucking down. Like he was going to Vaughn house to go fuck Vaughn the next day. So I knew this. So it was
So
like,
wait. Let's back up. Let's back up. So you tell him go make it happen, and everything about him going to make it happen and finding him somewhere to stay involves him having sex. But then you come up here and want us to believe that he's staying at your house and no sex happened.
yeah, it's
Ain't
not
not
a
a
that's the
rub,
belief.
ain't no
It's just really,
spooning, ain't no kiss,
nah,
ain't no
nah,
grab the
nah,
booty, ain't no
nah,
touch the dick,
nah.
ain't no nothing.
Nah, nah. Because
Come on now.
when you have sex with people that you live with, it ends up becoming sometimes obligation. And then people, when you don't want to have sex with
But
them and
you
you want to
just
fuck around,
told him to go have sex so he could have somewhere to stay. And now
I
you
didn't say
telling
to
us
go have
go
some place
have
to
sex with the
stay. It's
people
going
that
to
you
go. It's
stay
go.
with.
It's go out and go plant your own roots. Have your own hoes. Like go experience Atlanta. Go do your thing. Like it's just the culture. Like it is what it is. Like it just. I'm a man. Like shit. I mean, if I was talking to a nigga, like he got to find him some bitches to go fuck off with. You know what I'm saying? Some hoes to live with. Like it's just nigga talk.
Like I said, you are encouraging him to have sex to go find him somewhere to stay.
And you get to come to my house and you get to stay and you don't have to have any sex. You get to chill. You know what I'm saying?
Conveniently.
Yeah, no, it's not convenient. I mean, it's convenient for him. Yeah, it is convenient.
No, it's
It's very
convenient
convenient.
for your story.
No, it's convenient. It's convenient, period, because people do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't have any ill malice or anything towards it. We're guys, we're men. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm very grateful that I've had plenty of men that have done it for me. So I'm grateful that I did it for him. I don't take that back. I don't take nothing back. I don't take
Well, I'm
how
not
he,
telling you to take it back. I ain't telling you to take nothing back.
yeah, I don't take how the situation had went left or anything because I mean you learn people, things are an experience, and we moved on. So
So
I'm
after that, after that night when the dude that you said you liked came, he wasn't at your house no more.
talking about job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no. The next day he ended up getting mad, and I think I ended up sending him a text message. They kind of like didn't read through the text. They like didn't show that footage. When I was sitting down with Karma in Ty Valentino, I ended up reading the text messages out to them. So I showed them because they told me what he said, and then I was like, it caught me off guard, and I'm like, well,
But
this
I'm
is what I
asking
said.
you, I'm asking you after that day where the dude came over and you told him I'm sleeping on the couch and you can sleep in the bed because I don't want you to think it's gonna be no threesome. Did he leave after that day?
Yeah, he left that morning. He had to go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Did he ever come back?
Um, no, no. I want to say we hung out. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Uh,
So let me make sure let me add all of this up like you giving it to me. You out of your own you know, free will and accord, you, Grace and Mercy said, you know what? Come to my house. I know this Atlanta, and I know I'm about to tell you to go dip your spoon into a sugar bowl so you can have somewhere to stay. But you ain't got to do that here because I'm a good person and I'm gonna let you stay here. And we ain't never gonna do nothing. We ain't touched. We ain't rubbed. We ain't kissed. We ain't did nothing. I only been staying here for you. Only been staying here for a few days. You said about a week, maybe a little more. That's only a few days. And now I'm telling you, I got my dude coming over, and you mad, and you leave and don't come back. That's how that went.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And then he comes back and tells the story that y'all did have sex.
No, he never came back and told no story that we had sex.
I thought that was the thing that you was yelling about.
No, I was yelling because I said you got mad because I wasn't gonna say this part. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna
I,
put that out.
what
So
was you
I came
not
out
gonna
and
put
said
out?
you just got mad at the fact that I didn't want to fuck you. You were rubbing your ass against my dick, and I chose not to fuck you. And that's what I
Wait,
said.
stop, hold, pause. Hold on, stop. Now, this goes back to what I was asking you earlier. I asked you, did anything happen? Anything went on?
I
Did
told you
anybody
that nothing
rub
happened, but I
anybody?
thought that
No, you
you
didn't.
understood the episode. The episode explained it what I said. So I thought
No, 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 no. I don't.
you
I'm
just basically
asking
told me you
you
misinterpreted it.
now.
So
I'm trying to
so
verify what was said in the
So on the
episode.
first night, how I got to explain it to him that it was going to be no sex was I was baking cakes. You know what I'm saying? It was the first night he was going at the house, and I was
Mm-hmm.
baking cakes. I went into the room to come and chill. You know what I'm saying? In between waiting on the pound cake to come out, that takes a minute. That takes the longest cake. So I ended up going in the room to chill, and as I laid in the bed with him, he ended up rubbing his ass against my dick. And I just stopped him and let him know that nah, I ain't trying to do that. And
That was the
I
first night,
yeah, that was the first night. That was all in the first. So that's how I set the foundation, and I told
and
him
he never
everything.
tried it again.
So when he tried it again, it was when I had my homeboy with me. He ended up touching on my homeboy's dingling while I was laying in the bed with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's my room. So we're sitting in the room, we're talking, we're holding this deep conversation, we're sitting up in the bed smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? I'm rubbing on my homeboy, and I could feel that his hand is like trying to touch my homeboy dick. And
Are y'all all in the bed together?
that's yeah, I just yeah. And
No,
that's how
that's
I
not.
ended up.
No, 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 no. You told me that you did not get in the bed with him
No, I
because
never
you
said
didn't
that.
want him to think. I'm
I
saying when
never
your
said that.
homeboy came over, you said when your homeboy came over, you made
No,
sure you
we
didn't get
sat
in the
up.
bed with him
We sat up in
because
the
you didn't
bed.
want him to get confused.
No, no, no. We sat up in the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like we sat up in the bed. So I ended up explaining. I told him that me and my homeboys about to leave and go out. Like we actually went to the store. So he wanted to go to the store and couldn't understand why he couldn't go to the store. Well, I'm like, well, you got to be up at 9 o'clock like 7 o'clock in the morning to catch the train, and then go to work. Obviously, first off, I don't want you to come with me. Secondly, that was the first thought, but I wasn't trying to put that on first front street when I'm talking to him. So I was trying to say, well, boy, you got to get up early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And he like, well, so I'm like, he's like making up excuses for not be able to just lay in the bed and go to sleep. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to leave, and then I was like, you can have the room, you can chill. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about to go, and then I just ended up leaving.
So let me
And
let
I
me
could
make
tell
sure
that
I
he was like not
understand.
happy about that moment. You know what I'm saying? But at that moment, I didn't care because I didn't want the lines to become blurred. So I ended up leaving, and
Let me hold on, because I'm trying to make sense of everything. Let me add this up. So let's say he came to your house. The first day was a Sunday, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if it was. I'm just making up my day. A Sunday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That first day, that Sunday, y'all laid in the bed. He rubbed his booty against your dick, and you told him, "Stop! No, I ain't on that shit. I ain't trying to sleep with you. Nah, bruh, it ain't that type of party." He said, "My bad," and rolled over. Y'all went to sleep. Nothing else happened that night. Is that correct?
Hmm.
Now, how many more days did he stay with you in that 1 week? We on Sunday. So if let's say it was Sunday, did he stay with you
So
Monday?
remember, so that first day, remember I said the next day, I already know you're going to Vaughn house the next day. So on the
So he
first day,
went to Bond House on Monday. Okay.
yes, and I had actually said that to him in the bed. You got to go fuck Vaughn tomorrow. Like,
Oh, did he come
yeah,
back
like
to your house on Tuesday?
so he stayed with Vaughn for a few days actually,
He stayed up for Vaughn what, 3 days, 4 days?
for like 3 4 days. Like he was out like 3 4 days
Okay,
before he
so
left.
let's say he didn't come back till Friday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the second day he stayed at your house.
Hmm.
Is that the day the boyfriend came? Your little boo thing came?
Um, I'm trying to pin it in my head. I think the boo thing came into play. If it wasn't on the second, it had to be the third time.
Okay, so he had only stayed at your house maybe 3 times
Yeah.
before the boyfriend your little boo thing came. When he came, let's say it was the third time. When he came the second time, did he try anything with you?
Mm-mm. No, it was cool.
He was cool. But
Yeah.
on the third try, the boo thing came and he tried to touch your boo,
Yeah.
but he ain't trying to touch you.
No, because he was my boo was laying in the middle.
So let me ask you this, sir. If me, you and your boo thing, right,
Mhm.
is trying to establish something, what is he supposed to think if instead of you telling him, "Hey, I got my dude over. If you don't mind, can you go in the living room?" That's your house. You could say, "Hey, can you go in the living room? Because me and my dude, we finna, try to do our thing." Or maybe you could go to Vaughn house tonight or something. But you sending mixed
But
signals
he didn't have
because if
nowhere to
y'all
go that
hold
night
on,
because he came from
if
Vaughn house.
y'all laid in the bed together, all three of y'all, I feel like for him to touch your boo, try to rub on his dick, and you say you tried to rub on the dick and you felt his hand on the boy dick, there had to be some stages of undress, or so y'all was naked.
Mm-mm. No, we were in bed. We had clothes on.
How much clothes did y'all have on? Just boxes and wife
Nah,
beaters?
we actually still had on all our stuff. I believe. Like,
So let me understand. This young man who you let lay in the bed with you and your boo thing took his hand, put it in your boo thing pants, and started touching his dick. And what was your response to that?
oh, that's how we ended up leaving.
So
You
you
know,
left your own room because he put his hand in your boo thing pants.
yeah, me and my guy, we ended up leaving out the house and going to the store.
But hey, here's my question. This is what I mean by you giving mixed signals. You said that first night when he simply rubbed his booty against your dick, you immediately said, "Nah, bruh, I ain't on that shit. Don't do that shit no more. It ain't that type of party." But then you tell me you with this dude who you talking to, and this young man has the gall to put his hand all the way into the pants and grab the dick of your boo, and your response is, well, let me just have us get up and go to the store. That ain't adding up, sir. This a
That's a,
part of this story we ain't getting.
nah, it's no other parts of the story that you're not getting. It's just how it is. I mean, some people could say that maybe. I mean, I'm listening to how you're talking,
You
but
seem like you were more mad that he tried to do something with you than you were that he tried to do something with the boy that you tried to talk to. And that just don't really maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. I could be weird. But to me, I would be way more exponentially more mad about him putting his hands in the pants of my dude, grabbing his dick. We might be fighting. You're not going. First of all, wait,
but
pause, stop.
this isn't a boyfriend. So he's like a guy that I just kick you with on a regular. That's very cool. That I have a thing for. So that's all.
Even if that's the case,
So
even if that's just some random person, J Dot. I don't care what the situation is. A person is not just going to go and say, let me shove my hand down somebody's pants. And I don't give a damn who they are unless I have the right to do that, unless I've been invited to do that. That's just not something you do. Because if it was, the dude would have fought him. The dude would have been like, nah, bro, what the fuck you doing? That's just not, you don't just take your hand and put your hand down somebody's pants and they don't do nothing and they don't say nothing. That's not how things work. Some part of the story is getting left out. Now, was y'all about to have a real threesome and then you thought about it and said, yeah, I don't want to have a threesome no more? And then that's how I ended up not being it? Because I just can't imagine him having his hands down this man's pants, grabbing his
nah, honestly,
dick.
I left and went and did a threesome with me and my homeboy went and did a threesome somewhere else. I left the
So
house.
were y'all originally going to do a threesome with him?
No, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just was what it was. I can't stop that they both that Jaw's an attractive guy. My homeboy's an attractive guy. I'm an attractive guy. We're all there. So they probably having their own thing, their own thoughts and stuff going on. So I'm the
So
person
maybe the dude wanted to get with Ja. Is that what you said? He wanted to get with him, and that's why he let him put his hand in his pants.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
why didn't
yes.
you tell me that? That means you knew that.
I I I I didn't tell you because I was letting the story unfold how it unfolded. Like, you
You're
know.
not giving me the story how it unfolded. So
It is. It happened just like that, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Ja felt that, he was
I
cute.
don't
My
hold on.
homeboy
I
had
don't piece.
expressed to me that he
You
thought.
know what this like? This like Shaggy and the Scooby Doo mystery. I don't put the whole
Because my
mystery
homeboy didn't
together.
understand why I wouldn't allow a threesome to happen either. He didn't understand why I wouldn't have sex with Ja. So
Hold on, J Dot. I don't figured this out. This out. Here's what happened. Picture it, Sicily, 1922. You called your boo to come over. The boo came over. Ja actually happened to be there.
no, Ja called me, after to say he needed to
Ja
come over.
called you after and came over. You and your boo was already hanging out. You said y'all went out, hung out, maybe y'all vibe, smoked, like you said, all of this good stuff. Your boo started feeling him. Y'all get to the house. All three of y'all are in the bed, which signals to anybody, yep, it's about to go down. Josh shoved his hand. Either it may not have been Josh shoved his hand. Your boo might have took Josh's hand, put it in his pants, and Josh started falling on that man's dick. You look over there and try to grab your boo dick and say, "Oh no, the fuck you lying," and see his hands there. And that's when you came up with the story and said, "Nah, we got to go to the store. Nah, come on, let's go to the store." The boo thing ain't want to go to the store. The boo thing wanted to stay there and have this threesome happen. And you said, nah, let's go to the store. And when you left, the boo thing said, nah, I needed this threesome. And that's when y'all went to the other person's house and had a threesome with the other person. But I feel like there was a situation where you were jealous that the boo thing was feeling Ja. That's where I think the story lies.
No, not at all. Because me and Ja are two totally different people. Me and Boo thing like kicked it all the time. So like I didn't, and we weren't serious. Like we didn't have a title or
So
anything.
it's
We
a
both
bust
have
down.
people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I wouldn't have even given a fuck. It was just the fact that I wasn't doing that with Ja, and that's what people not understanding. I didn't want to sleep with Ja because he was
But Ja
on.
didn't stay with you. You said that Ja stayed. You didn't want to have sex with Ja because you don't have sex with people that stay with you. That young man was not staying with you. You said that was his third time at your house.
Yes, but
Y'all was having sleepovers. Y'all wasn't staying together.
we're also on a platform with each other. We're also trying to build a friendship with
So
each other.
say that. Say,
So
listen, I don't want to sleep with a castmate. But when you was on the show, you made it like, oh, I don't sleep with people that I stay with, and
I
y'all
did. I
weren't
said
really
all of it.
staying
I said
together.
like they're like friends. I said y'all like friends, coworkers to me. I don't want to sleep with my Yes, I said even if y'all are sexy. I said that. That was the
You
quote.
said on the show that now people in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember vividly you said on the show, because you said it in your confessional,
Mhm.
you said, I don't believe in sleeping with people that I stay with because that always ends up being messy. And
Yeah,
my thing is, it
but I spoke
wasn't
on it
that
more
y'all
than
was
once.
staying together. It was just the fact that it was the fact that I don't, maybe you could have told us, well, I don't really sleep with castmates or somebody that I consider my coworker because we work
No,
together or
in
whatever.
another confessional, I actually like said it verbatim, just like that. Castmates. I said that I look at them like coworkers. I was trying to find the word coworkers, so I said they're like friends. They're my group mates. I said like coworkers. I don't want to sleep with my coworkers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, no matter how sexy they are. That was my quote. So I
Yes
mean,
or
like
no?
that was
Yes or
too.
no? Have you and Ja ever done anything sexually?
Never, no.
Never.
Mm-mm.
That's your story. You sticking to it.
Yeah,
So why would he say y'all did?
he didn't say that.
I thought that was the story that he told everybody else that y'all had sex.
No, he went around and tried to take my conversation and turn it into as if I was a molester because I told him about how I was molested.
But okay, that you were molesting
That's why we
him
were
or you were
arguing.
molesting like kids.
No, he tried to say that because I was molested, what happens with people who are molested, they end up becoming the molester. So he
So he was
tried
trying to call you a pedophile.
he was trying to make me out to be that, and we didn't understand. So that's why they all was like they didn't believe the story because it didn't make sense. So when I produced I was like, he was very hurt when he left my house. I couldn't believe he said what he said. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe he took what I said and turned it into that after he opened up and said he was molested too. So it was like, what type of fucking shit? I ain't never heard of a person do this. So when I snapped at him in that moment, we got him to confess that he lied and that he apologized, but it was just that, like, why? And he couldn't come up with a why on why he did it. And it was
Because
just
my
crazy.
question is, and well, I don't know how that would just come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like that just comes out of nowhere. Even if you say he did it, he would have to have a motive. Maybe you did something or said something he was angry about.
I felt
He
like he
might have
was
been angry at the fact that y'all was about to have a whole threesome and you messed up the threesome that he was about to have.
Yeah, because they told me it happened like that same day. So within that same day of him getting off of work and recording, that's when he said what he said. So I feel like he was mad. So that's why I produced the text messages to show him that, hey, yo, bro, I look at you like as a friend. I want you. Like you don't have to do that here. Like I was like very in depth with just trying to make him understand, and it was what it was. He apologized, but he apologized and then he tried to go back on it. So that's why it was just ugly. And I was screaming like that because it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how can you apologize for lying and then turn around and then try to lie again? I was like, this is too much. Like, so it was a lot. It was a lot. It
This
was
story
hurtful to be
is
honest.
this story is interesting, sir. So let me get this straight because we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I don't really want to discuss the whole Carmen situation because I feel like production is at fault with the Carmen situation. And I think production protects karma. And I think karma is violent. And production allows that to happen because they think it'll get clicks and views. And then when people retaliate on
That's
people's
crazy to say
violence,
that.
then now they're looked at like they're the villain and Karma's looked at as the villain when Karma was the person that initiated the violence to begin with. But that's a whole nother story. I think that the Karma situation goes down a rabbit hole that I think nobody wants to have a real conversation about. And I don't think people really truly want to discuss all parts of it because yeah, you were wrong as all get out for some of the things that you said, but that individual was wrong as all get out for just attacking you out of
Yeah.
the, out of the blue, just like they attacked Chrissy, and they keep getting rewarded and protected by production, by getting more camera time, by getting more time on the show, and getting more opportunities to showcase their violence, and being told that there's nothing wrong with that, and never being held accountable for it.
Well, no,
Anyway,
I will
back
say
to this
production does
story.
hold her accountable, because he didn't allow her just to get over and be like that with me. Like he always addressed her because they all seem to forget, and it made me the bad guy, as if they say, oh, but he kept saying it, and he was like, and he has to remind them he never said it at all until that moment. You know what I'm saying? So
What I'm saying is, for me, on any show or any production, just like on your job, at the moment that you put your hands on somebody, that's it. Thank you for coming. Please drive safely. We have a zero tolerance policy, because once you start to allow violence, it just permeates. You cannot allow that. You cannot. That gives a very, like I told Dublev, that gives a very bad example. This is a show about music, and you got people fighting, and you could have somebody that's young, queer, LGBTQ, and looking at the show to say, hey, let me see what life is about for me, as trying to come up as a queer artist, and you got people fighting and carrying on. I don't care about people saying stuff to each other verbally. You could do that back and forth all day long, but when you start to allow people to put their hands on other people, and you don't do anything, you don't stop it, rather you give them more camera time, there's never any accountability from that person, and they continue to be on the platform, you're rewarding bad behavior. Period. That's all it is a reward, because there's no real repercussions. Nothing happened. Nothing. So that's why and Carmen's welcome to come up here. Um but back to you. Um I just told you how production got in it. You could call me and we could talk about it. Production. Anyway, because I gotta wrap this up. I got a show coming on in about 5 minutes. So,
Mhm.
sir, part of your story got way too much holes in it, because you gonna try and sell to me that everything that the jar guy said wasn't true, and I'm like, it's holes in your story, which makes sense. Most people who they whole story don't add up, they start yelling and stuff and be like, kind of distract from the fact that their story got holes in it.
Yeah, ain't got no holes in this story. This story was like verbatim. It was
You
just,
do got holes in the story, because we just poked 1,000 holes in your story.
no. You said they're trying to poke 1,000 holes in what you want to not accept. At the end of the day, it was what it was. It's like it's not
Did
even
y'all
nothing
have a
that
threesome?
no.
He just stroked your boyfriend, your little bust down off.
No, like it wasn't like that at all. It wasn't. It
So he
wasn't.
just he just was grabbing his dick.
Yeah, he like literally my hand was already there. So when he like put his head there, that's how I ended up feeling it.
No, that's not what you told her. Now wait a minute. You can't change the story.
It's
You
not
said he grabbed the boy dick, and then you put your hand down there and saw that his hand was already there. Now you said that your hand was there first, and then his hand went and
you
tried to
are
grab
like
the dick.
you are diabolical for like switching up the words. Like it's
I'm
funny as
not
hell.
switching up
You
anything. You
are
said
like
that. I
I
want you
have
to go
watched you
back and
multiple
watch this
times.
interview.
You didn't
I
even
want you to go
you
back
you don't
and
even
watch
have the full
this
quotes from
interview.
the confessionals. You're quoting only one part of confessionals and stuff. So
No, I'm not
like
even going off confessionals. I'm going out off of
but no,
what
honestly,
you
like
said
I
on
said,
here.
my hand. We were landing in bed. My hand was already there, and then
That's
he
not
ended up
what
putting
you
his
told
finger.
us. You
Yes, it
said
is.
no. Even the chat is saying that. You said his hand was there, and when you went to go put your hand to grab the boy, that's how you noticed his hand was there. And that's when you decided, you got mad and decided to go to the store, because you was mad because they was going to have a whole bust down.
No, you funny as hell.
How else does his hand be on the boy dick unless the boy wanted his hand on his dick?
He put his hand down there. I mean, at the end of the day, we were laying right there in the bed with each other. Like maybe he had gotten the idea that he should. Like
So you
I
admit that
obviously,
so you admit what I just said. His hand did go first, and then you put your hand.
No, I just said specifically that he probably had gotten the idea to do it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he felt that way. I couldn't, I'm not knocking or negating that, but my hand was already there. Like it just was what it was, you know?
You just gonna
But
stick
this
to your
isn't like a
lies.
this because it doesn't lead anywhere because it like, we already talked about it. Me and him explained it, so you watch it unfold. So, if there was more to it, he would have, laid his piece down and said
It would have been more
something
to
like,
it, but you got mad and got up and said we going to the store and we gonna have another threesome because I don't
no,
want
I'm
a
talking about
threesome with
when me
him.
and Josh, when me and Josh speak about it, and him apologize for it and apologize for lying.
No, I
So,
ain't talking about the no, I ain't talking about the whole thing, him calling you a pedophile. I'm talking
so
about
all
the
of this relates
threesome.
to that night at the house. So it and I explain everything in full. So it all is plays out on the show that it didn't lead anywhere. Like he left it there, I left it there. It just was what it was, and the story ends right there. So it's like it was unfortunate. I wanted to hold the discussion on talking about what I wanted to talk about, but it ended up coming out when a person tried to use it against you.
You
So
didn't want to have a discussion. You went over there to yell at that young man, and you did. You started
No,
yelling.
actually, I came there to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? And it just turned out that way because he was teetering around it. He was like beating around the bush, and it
I
was
want
like,
to
"What are you
start
talking
yelling right
about?"
now because you changing your story.
It was just horrible. It was a horrible situation of feeling experience. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's playing in your face. And I really didn't respect it and like it. It really
You
bothered
might
me.
be playing in my face.
I ain't got no. I'm not here to play in your face. I'm here to get the facts out. You know what I'm
You not
saying?
getting no facts out.
The facts is
You
out.
changing your story.
No, the facts is out. You know what I'm saying? It's been a dope season so far.
Can you
And,
bring on? Can you come back on here and bring the bust down boy on? Because we need to ask him some questions to get the real story.
you
Boogie
know,
down, bust down. Bring him on.
uh,
Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta we supposed to be having a watch party for the DNC. We're about to listen, y'all. I thank you so much, Jada. I would do want to have you come back up here so we could
of course,
discuss more. But I'll be honest, I purposely didn't want to discuss um
karma.
the Carmen situation because I don't think that that'll be received or handled properly, and that's production's fault. I'm gonna blame production. Um Anyway, we gonna let you have your, your narratives that you want to push. We gonna let you have your truth, God of
Living in my truth.
mercy, God of love, and we gonna let it lay there. We just gonna let it stay there. Ja, if you listen to this, come up here and tell us the real story so we can hear the real Ja. Anyway, sir, I hope you had a good time. Did you have a great time while you were here?
I did. You're very cool. You know what I'm saying? I most definitely want to
Did,
come up and
did it live up to its did it live up to you
Oh,
know
you try to be a messy one, but you dealing with the God. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with somebody who done been down that road. So you know.
I'm dealing with somebody who knows how to tell false truths and fake news and false narratives and fabrications.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's not like that. It's just that shit. I mean, you got to be your own PR and publicist all in one. So it is what it is.
Well, thank you so much for being up here, sir. Any last words?
Nah, make sure you guys continue to watch Real Life and Music. Follow me, J. Brown, the Black Boy George. Also, Mr. Cake Me Happy. You know what I'm saying? Got good music out right now. A whole new project about to be on the way soon. So, probably within the next few hours. So, check me out. You know what I'm saying? Got a real dope project on the way. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very heartfelt. And, you can relate to it, just from being able to watch the show and see how it's been translated to the music. So, Gifted to Be Different is the movement. You know what I'm saying? Lil Blue, he out of town right now. You know what I'm saying? He in Care Bear World. And I'm just out here chilling, you know what I'm saying, till the big homie get back. We ready to continue doing what we doing, man. I love
Okay.
y'all. I love y'all.
I do have
Thank
his
you so
social
much.
media in the description box. I have his Instagram as well as his SoundCloud is in the description box. So make sure you go over there and download his music and listen to his music. His SoundCloud link is there as well as his Instagram is in the chat as well as the YouTube link for Real Life Reality, where you can find the episodes. Thank you so much for being here, and for allowing me to interview you, sir. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contribution that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. Thank y'all so much. I will see y'all in a couple seconds. Until a few seconds from now, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out.
We
Bye,
out.
y'all.
Love y'all.